Alright, delete the cube, press 1 on the numpad to go to front view. We're going to add a cylinder, Shift A, mesh cylinder. We're going to scale it down, S.05. We're going to scale it up on the Z-axis, SZ80. Let's go over here to the right over here to material properties, this beach ball icon. Click on there, new, base color, and then click on this rectangle and just drag this dial down. Get kind of a dark gray. We're going to go up here to the outliner. We're going to change the name of cylinder, left click on there twice. And we're going to change it to shaft, S-H-A-F-T. Let's add a torus, Shift A, mesh, torus. We're going to rotate it on the x-axis, RX90. Press period on the numpad to go up close. We're going to press Z4 to go into wireframe view. Press tab to go into object mode, and you can go up here to the top left and click on here, or press 3 on the keyboard to go into face select. Select all these top faces. We're going to delete them, delete faces. Just press 2 on the keyboard to go into edge select up here. Let's put the cursor here, hold Alt, left click, and select this whole edge. Put the cursor here in the middle, press F, that adds a face. Let's do the same on the other side. Alt, left click, face there. Okay, now we can go to face select and just select this face here. Select this face here. Go to front view. We're going to extrude this up, E. Okay, now let's press tab to go into object mode. Let's press Z, and then this menu comes up, select material preview. Okay, so we're going to go over here to, again, to material properties, new base color, click on this rectangle, and then just select a dark orange. Drag the dial down, you get brown. Zoom out. Let's scale this down, S.7. Let's move it, G, move it down about here. Let's go up here to the outliner where it says torus. Click on there twice. We're going to change the name to handle, H-A-N-D-L-E. Okay, now we're going to add another cylinder, Shift A, mesh cylinder. We're going to scale it up on the Z-axis, SZ1.7. We're going to move it up on the Z-axis, GZ, move it up to about here. Let's go in here. So you want about this much of the shaft showing. Let's zoom out, press tab to go into edit mode. Okay, so let's press 2 to go into edge select. And we're going to hold down Alt, and we're going to put the cursor here, left click on there, and that selects this whole edge here, the bottom edge. We're going to scale it out, S6. Let's do the same thing up here, hold Alt, left click on this edge, and then press period on the numpad to go up close. We're going to scale this in manually, S, just scale it in like this, to about there. Zoom out, we're going to add a loop cut here, put the cursor here, hold Control, press R, left click once, and then just move the cursor up here so it's about 2/3 of the way up. We're going to scale it out manually, S, just scale it out to about there. You want this edge and this edge to be about the same length. Let's press 3 on the keyboard to go into face select. Let's select the bottom face and delete it. Delete, back to front view. Let's press 2 to go back into edge select, and then let's hold Alt and then select this whole edge again. And we're going to extrude it down, EZ, extrude down like this. About here, and then we're going to, that edge is still selected, we're going to scale it out like this. So you want to keep this same angle here. Press 3 on the keyboard to go into face select, and then press Z4 to go into wireframe view, and then we're just going to select all these bottom faces. See, these are all selected here, and then we're going to press P, and we're going to separate by selection, and then press tab to go back into object mode. And just select those bottom ones again, then press tab to go back in edit mode, and then just select these faces here, and then we're going to press P to separate by selection. Okay, we separated those. Let's go into object mode, and then we're just going to select the larger part, delete it, and then select the 4 here again, and go back into edit mode, and we want to press Z and get this menu, and then select material preview. Let's go to front view, and then we're just going to zoom in on those 4 there, like this. Let's go over to the toolbar here on the left, and then there's this knife tool. It's this box with a diagonal cut in it. And then when you click on there, the cursor turns into a knife. Let's click on this corner here, and then go about 3/4 of the way up on this line, and then to the top of this one. Then about 3/4 again on this one, and then to here. And then let's press Enter, and then bring your cursor up here to the top left select box. Click on there, and then the cursor goes back to normal. We're in face select. Let's select this face. Hold shift, select these faces. Let's delete them. Delete faces, and then select these faces here. Shift, select all those faces. Let's zoom out. Let's press 7 to go to top view. Let's press Tab to go into object mode. So this is selected. We're going to duplicate it, Shift D. We're going to rotate the duplicate, R45. And now we're going to repeat last action. So what you do is you hold Shift and you press R. And just keep Shift held down and just keep pressing R like this. And that, bring it all the way around like that. And then let's go to front view, 1 on the numpad. Let's go to here to the outliner, select cylinder, and then where it says cylinder 0.008, you want to shift click so all these are selected. Put the cursor back in the viewport. We're going to join these. Hold Control, press J, join them. And then you go back to the outliner where it says cylinder, left click on there. We're going to change the name to Canopy, C-A-N-O-P-Y. Okay, change it to Canopy, and then we're going to give this material, new, base color, click on the rectangle, and we're just going to give it a blue color. Okay, now let's go down here to object data properties right here, this triangle thing, and then we're going to have this thing called shape keys, and then just go over here to this plus, click on the plus, and then this basis thing comes up. So basis, what it is it stores all the information about your selected object, which is the canopy. It stores all the geometry, information about the geometry of the canopy. So we're going to need that because later we're going to go into edit mode. We're going to change all the geometry. We're going to actually close the umbrella, and we're going to need to have the open umbrella information stored. Okay, so now we can pretty much forget about basis, and let's just click on the plus sign again. Then this key 1 comes up. I'm going to change the name. So left click on there twice. I'm going to change the name to animation dial. Animation dial. And I'm going to put the values in here. 0 equals open. 1 equals closed. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to go into edit mode. We're going to change all the geometry of this. We're going to close the umbrella. So we have an open and closed umbrella. And then we're going to go back into object mode, and we're going to be able to activate this dial. And what we're going to do is we're going to left click on here. We're going to be able to move our mouse to the right and close the umbrella, move the mouse to the left and open the umbrella. Okay, so when you go into edit mode, you want to make sure you're on that you're on animation dial and not basis. You're on animation dial, selected. Move your cursor into the viewport, and then press Tab to go into edit mode. So now we're in edit mode. Let's press Z4 to go into wireframe view, and then just click on the viewport to unselect everything. We need to press 2 to go into edge select, and then you want to select all these edges here on the bottom. And we're going to scale them in manually. Press S and just scale it in like this to about here. And then you want to hold down Alt and left click on this edge, so that whole edge is selected. You want to scale it in manually again, like this. S, drag it in. And then you want to press A to select everything. Select all. And then we're going to scale this up on the Z-axis, SZ 1.8. Let's go up close here. Let's press Z again and get this menu and go into material preview so we can see this better. And we're going to move this down on the Z-axis, GZ. Move it down. You want to line it up the way it was when it was open. So about the same amount of the shaft is showing here. It's about there. Okay, now let's go back into object mode. Press Tab, going back into object mode, and then the canopy's open again. So now we're in object mode. So now object mode is where you do all the technical stuff. You know, you add the shape keys, you change the names, and then we're going to use this dial to interact with the timeline when we to do the animation, and then you know, add the keyframes and everything. Okay, so and then in edit mode we did all of the artistic stuff. Okay, so we deal with all these keys in the object mode, and then you deal with the changing the geometry in edit mode. Okay, so now so let me show you how the dial works. So initially you need to have the cursor to the right of these zeros, and then you just left click, and then you keep it held down, and then you just move your mouse to the right, and that activates the dial. You move to the right, and you can bring it all the way to the right to 1, and that closes it. And then move your mouse to the left, all the way to the left, that opens it. And then you can just go back to the right, closed, 1, and then left, open, 0, and then you can go anywhere in between. Okay, so this is going to help us with the animation. Okay, so now for the animation, Let's look at our timeline. We're at frame 1 here. We want to start our animation with the umbrella closed, because in the animation, in our final animation, we're going to have the umbrella going from closed to open. We're going to open the umbrella. This is going to be a pretty short animation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to this, and I'm going to change it to 60. Okay, so now let's, that was too big. I mean, the timeline's too big there. Let's zoom out here. Okay, so now let's close the umbrella. So left click here to the right of these zeros, and then just drag your mouse to the right and close the umbrella. Okay, so now the umbrella is closed. We're at frame 1. That's where we want the closed umbrella. So to add the keyframe, you right click on this 1 here in this value box, right click, and then insert keyframe. And then this turns gold. And then you go over here to the timeline, you got this diamond here. That means there's a keyframe at frame 1. Okay, now we need to go to frame 60. Type in 60 here. Now we're at frame 60, and we need to open the umbrella. So what you do is you, now I don't think it has to be the right here, but just left click on here, and then you just drag your mouse to the left and just open the umbrella all the way to the left. Now it's 0. Okay, now to add the keyframe, you right click on this 0 and then just select insert keyframe. This turns gold, then you got your keyframe here at 60. So now we can play the animation. So let's play it. And there it is. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.